We are back for another live video on you can have any man in any price range. There is no limit to the financial status of a man of your choice. You are only limited because your mind is limited in thinking. So in order for you to level up as far as the caliber or the type of men that you choose, it's all in your mindset. You have to know that you can pull a man of any caliber in any financial status. The reason I say that is because like 20 something years ago, when I was really a young tender, I was pulling millionaires and I wasn't even like focused on, how much their net worth was. So, yeah, just, as long as you feminine yourself up to, you know, the most feminine looking as well as your energy, because you can't be, looking extra feminine but then still have, the masculine energy. So, just carry yourself extra feminine, and the masculine type of men, those, are the ones that you'll be attracting when you put yourself in feminine energy and you just live in feminine energy. You'll be attracting those masculine men. Because I was wondering, like what was the difference between now and when I was younger, because I was attracting these men without even knowing what I was doing. Because I dressed a lot in dresses, and I shared proof of that. I think it was like last week or the week before, on my TikTok, and I was like, when I was a young sprinkle or proof that when I was a young sprinkle, and it was just like 2 photos of me, how I used to dress. What is all that noise? What is all that noise? You guys stop banging all up on the stairs like that, having me think somebody fell. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. This is, a safe space for women where we talk men and money all the time. Men and money. Feel free to check out some of the older videos, and I teach money. Everything surrounding the subject of money, but we also discuss men and their ways, their habits, how they think towards women, things like that. But today's subject is, ladies, you can pull any man of any financial status. You just have to know that you are able to do that, and it all starts in the way that you think. So say for instance, you and a friend, you guys go into an establishment. It could be a restaurant. She may be thinking that she can just pull like the manager, And then you want to walk in there knowing, and even putting those thoughts in your mind that you can pull the owner. It could be, a club. It could be just anywhere, wherever venture out, a wine, place, or wherever, it could be a golf course. Just wherever you go, always think in your mind like, I am beautiful enough, I am worthy enough to be able to have the owner come, asking like, who is that? Who is she? I want to get to know her. Because as long as you think things in your mind, that's where the original idea for everything starts, as well as how you shape your outer world. See, I never knew, when I was younger, that it's your thought process that actually creates your outside world. So you have to think, and you have to know within yourself, like, yeah, I know, that I can get me a millionaire. I know that I can get me. He doesn't even have to be a millionaire. You can say, hey, I know I can get me 100,000-aire. He may make 6 figures, every year. And you have to just know within yourself that, you can pull that man, or that man will come and ask like, who are you? I want to get to know you, Hello, Cupcake. I'm sorry, I have to have my glasses on. I should have them on, so that way I can see. I can see the comments better. I don't want you guys to think like that I'm ignoring, But yeah, also, I wanted to, let everybody know, because some people may think like, oh, what qualifies you to be giving so much advice? Number one, I'm 5 years away, something like that, from being 50 years old. So I've had a ton of life experience, especially dealing with men. I've been married 3 times, not on paper, but I've been married literally 3 times in my lifetime. So that's what also qualifies me for, helping the younger women out in the world, give you guys advice, answer any questions. If you guys have any, feel free to drop your questions down in the comments. I will gladly answer them for you. I'm going to try to go live at least an hour, Monday through Saturday. Monday through Saturday, I will try to answer the questions. I can't really give a specific time yet, because every time I set a specific time, I'm not able to stick to that time. So we'll just say California time, after work for me in the evening. So after 5 p.m. So yeah, feel free. If you guys have any questions, that you want advice on, dealing with men, or even financial advice. If you want, some advice on men or on the subject of money, I'll gladly answer your questions. But the younger you are, the more you are able to get out of men, because even for like young men, like young women, of course, but older men love younger women too. And it's usually older men that have the most, money. So um, the younger and the thinner that you are, the more you will be able to pull, from men. So ladies, take advantage when you are young and when you are as skinny as a bone. That's when you can get the most out of men. The most. So don't go for small. Don't think small. Like, don't ever think small. Always be thinking the biggest that you can think when it comes to, having men give you the things that you want, because you definitely are able to pull the most when you are younger. You really can pull at all ages. Like I said earlier, it's mainly your thought process. So you have to change your mindset from thinking, oh, I can only pull the manager of this place, or oh, I can only pull the waiter. You got to get that out of your thinking. You have to start thinking bigger with everything. And that's how you win in life, is when you always think big. You have to always just think like, oh, the owner of this place is gonna come, looking for me. One time I was just washing clothes, and the owner comes around, trying to flirt. That was two different laundry mats, but some men, I'm just like, no. If I see you are for everybody, you flirting with every single woman in the place, I'm like, I be looking at him like, ooh, the privates must be dirty. But, there's some women, they don't care. They don't care. But me, I'm big on hygiene, so I'm just like, man, I don't want to deal. But yeah, you can pull the most. And then when you are young, try to get the major things. Like, don't ask for hair and nail money. That's so small. Like, oh, pay my phone bill. That's so small. Don't think small. Think huge. Think, I need you to buy me some land. I need you to buy me a house. I need you to buy me, vehicle. I need you to, because they was cashing out. I'm telling you, if if I could go back, knowing what I know now, ooh, it'd be a few M's in the bank account, But you have to know, it's all in your mindset. That's the same with your bank account. That's what I was saying last night on my TikTok. It's all in your mindset. It's all in your mindset. So if you know, like, in your future that you can see a few million in your bank account, as long as you think rich, your outside world will always catch up to what you're thinking. So that's why they say, when it comes to law of attraction, always be careful. Like, the moment you are, the moment that you learn about law of attraction and the way that law of attraction works, always be careful of the things that you think and the things that you speak out of your mouth, because you will start to see your whole outside world will start magnetizing towards, first, your emotions, and second, first your thinking, second your emotions, third the things that you speak out of your mouth. So, is really detrimental. It's very, very important for you to always try to stay on, like, positive talk, positive thinking, you know, as soon as you start to study like how law of attraction works. Um, because that's what I, you know, studied a lot, was law of attraction, because I, you know, in studying, um, you know, millionaires without even knowing that that's what I was doing when I was younger, um, that's what I noticed. Like, you know, you whatever you think on is what you will become. So when I started studying like other millionaires and things online, I would listen a lot to Bob Proctor. So listening to Bob Proctor, I was like, let me dig in a little deeper about this law of attraction thing. And that's where I learned that. And then he would talk about paradigms. And I'm like, what is a paradigm? You know, so I started, you know, listening more, and I found out like the paradigm is a person's mental programming. So for like majority people, uh, excuse me, majority people have a negative mental programming. So when you change your paradigm, your mental programming, to from negative thinking to positive thinking, that is what helps you shift your reality. That is what helps you shift your financial status from, you know, living average to living abundant, is positive thinking. You need positive thinking as a tool to go from average living to, you know, abundant or wealthy living, wealthy mindset, wealthy thinking. Um, so yeah, Bob Proctor was really, really, you know, helpful in, you know, me learning to change my mindset, because when I was younger, I used to always think negative first, and I'm like, you know, why is that? You know, so as I, you know, got older and started studying, you know, school never taught you, school never teaches you the correct books for you to read, for you to become, you know, a millionaire. They want less millionaires as possible, even though, you know, people are starting to figure it out, you know, because a lot of people have learned about reading, you know, the book Think and Grow Rich. That's the, was that the first book I read, or maybe it was the second book I read? I believe it, Think and Grow Rich was probably the second book that I read, because the first book that I read was Robert Kiyosaki. What was the title of that book? Oh, Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's the first book that I read, was Rich Dad Poor Dad. But traditional school, like the school system, they don't teach people, you know, how to become millionaires. They teach people how to become a worker, and how to have a worker mindset. Um, so that's why they didn't tell us, like, you know, you should read financial books. The traditional school doesn't teach you, you know, how to become a boss. They teach you how to work for other, you know, companies and corporations, and, you know, people that already have the large businesses established. The school teaches you, oh, read this Tom Sawyer book. Because when people start to level up their thinking, and, you know, they they stop the small thinking, and they level up to the point where they level up their pockets. You know, the more money you have, the more power you have to do more things, you know. um, so that's why I was like, you know, there is no gatekeeping on this channel. You know, I am spilling all the beans about how you guys can either level up your own bag, or, you know, just know the information that I know. Because the more, you know, people know about this information, the better. You know, um, even, you know, the other night, you know, it hurts my feelings when I see people of color, you know, digging in the trash. It's like, you don't have to live like that, you know. So if there's anything that I can do to help somebody, you know, change their life, I'm definitely gonna do that, you know. So I told the man, I said, you know, excuse me, sir, like, I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that, because sometimes people don't take your helpful information positive. Some people may take it in a negative way. But, you know, I you know, had a little quick talk with him, and I told him, I said, you know, they don't never teach you in school, you know, that you should read a book called Think and Grow Rich. Because, you know, like I said before, they do not want many people with power. But it's really all in the way that you think. And that's what I learned from, you know, reading that book, reading several other books. But the reason I love school is because they do teach you the fundamentals. Like, you know, reading, how to read, how to spell, how to add, subtract, and all that. It's all of that information, all of that knowledge is important for, you know, when you go out into the real world and you have to, you know how to count, know how to read. So they give us the most basic skills, but it's up to us to do our own independent studying when it comes to leaving poverty and entering the life of wealth, or entering the life of abundance, you know. Because once I started reading, the light bulbs start coming on, start flickering, and was just like, pow, here it is. This is what you should have been reading. And when I read the book Think and Grow Rich, I was like, why are they not giving this to us in the 6th grade? Like, when we like understand words and paragraphs and sentences, why are they not telling us this information? So, you know, as I started studying, I, you know, started seeing, you know, things in a totally different light. When you read and you know how to comprehend what you're reading, I'm telling you guys, that book is mind blowing. Like, and it's free. You can even listen to Think and Grow Rich 100% free right here on YouTube. That's why a lot of people are like, oh, you go to YouTube University, and do, because you can learn so much, you know, on this app. And this is like one of my favorite apps. Like, I spend the most time on YouTube. But yeah, ladies, if you are young and you see this video, like, share it out with other ladies. You know, because when you bless other people with awesome information, helpful information, you also get those blessings in return. And it may not be from the same people that you bless with the information that you get your blessings from. It may come from, you know, someone else that you weren't expecting to get your blessing from. But Share this video with other ladies so many more ladies can be aware of how to get her own bag, because some women, aren't always gonna be fortunate to find herself a provider. So I want as many women as possible to be able to get this information so that she can still live her best life, so that she can still afford any and everything that she wants to be able to afford, even without a man, because I feel like, nobody has to live with less than. You only live with less than because, of the way that you think. So that's why a lot of people say you have to change your mindset first. As long as you change your mindset first, the way that you think, you can change your entire life. You can change your entire life. I promise, because I used to think so differently, I used to always think like, oh no, only other people are capable of, making so much money, and I'm just not in that category. Wrong, wrong, wrong. You are capable of making endless amount of money. People think sometimes that there's a limit. Oh no, I can't make it because other people know. Do you know that there are way more millionaires nowadays than there were 100 years ago? So nothing is beyond your reach. It's only beyond your reach if you think it is. You have to have a limitless mindset. You have to have, a mindset that there is no ceiling, there is no cap for you to earn however much, that you want to earn. So that's why they say too, the only thing stopping you is you. I used to stand in my own way, and that's how, I know that saying is true. The only thing that's stopping you is you. So get out of your own way. Oh, that's another book. That's another book that I wanted to share with you guys. It's called The Mountain Is You. Because sometimes people stand in their own way by self-sabotaging. And it's called The Mountain Is You. The author's name is Brianna Weiss. And that book is also free to listen to here on YouTube. So if you want to change your living status, if you want to change from being broke or being poor to living abundant, study like you need water like you need air to breathe. You have to want it so bad that every free second, every free moment that you have, you are listening to financial, self-help books. You are listening to financial self-improvement, free books on YouTube. There's so many, ways to listen to financial education, financial podcasts. There's endless amount of free information, that you guys can absorb, learn from. Get your notebook out, take notes, every time you're listening. That's what I do, because I'm like, oh, I want to remember this, so always absorb. If you want to change your financial status from poor to wealthy, then you have to build a love for learning new information. Because some people think like, oh, I already know this, I already know that. And it's like, no, there's something that you can learn from every single person as well as every single book. And, that's why I put my own course together. They're available. I have money courses. So if people want like structured people or learn the information like where I learned all my information from, is available in my link tree on my Instagram, which is Gold Unique 07 on Instagram. So, because I'm like, when I was younger and I, would see other kids going to school, and their parents dropping them off in nice shiny cars, and then we weren't. And I'm like, what is the difference between those people and my parents? Like, and had someone would have said, here's this program, study this, and this is how you can change your life, I would have been did it. I would have been did it. That's why I was like, you know what, let me set up, a list of all the books that I read, all the videos that I watched, so that way someone else can have a quick access and a fast jump start to start learning more. Because had I would have known that it was the way to leave poverty and to get to a life of abundance was in your mindset and in the way that you feel, I would have been did it. I would have been did it years ago. But that's what, I still grab information. Like, now that I know a lot and which books to read and which people to listen to, and how to better spend my free time, I would have been did it when I was younger. But I think everything happens in its own timing for the perfect reasons, and for you to know certain information at the certain times in your life. Because had I would have been a real estate agent when I was like 22 and had access to tons of money, there's no telling what kind of turns my life would have took, So I'm grateful for, learning the information at a later age, because I know now, like, how to better manage, money. When I was younger, I used to run out, and every time people upset me, I would go and self-sabotage by spending up all my own money. And I'm just like, wait a minute, I done hurt myself, thinking that it was gonna affect the next person because I was mad at them, but I'm over here making my own pockets less. And I'm just like, wait a minute, no, I can't keep doing that. And it wasn't until after, I want to say maybe, after I turned about 40 and older was when I learned about self-sabotaging and what it meant and what the behaviors were. Was like, oh, okay, you got to stop doing that, So that's why I put my money courses together, because, I'm like, this is really helpful information, for other people to get to, the information that it took me a couple years. It took me a couple years to study the information and, to even put a book together. So, I'm just like, let me create a fast track, a cheat sheet. And I used to call it Millionaire's Cheat Sheet, but I changed the name to Money Course, because some people, they'll hear like, millionaire secrets, and then they'll be like, oh, I could never. So I'm like, this is the book and this is my barcode, but this is the book that I wrote, and it's like 60 pages. Once I was like, I can't even say done studying, but anyway, it's on a little stand for, me to sit and either on a table or in somebody else's store. But that's why I came with I changed the name from Millionaire Secrets Cheat Sheet to money courses, because it's like a money college. It just is more, after listening to the teachers that I listen to. He was saying, like, make it to where it's doesn't seem so far out of people's reach. So that's why I changed the name to Money Courses. So I'm just like, yeah, you want to fast track and get to it quicker, learn faster than what it took. It took me 2 years. It'll just take you grabbing the information and studying immediately. So that's why I put it together, because I'm like, nobody has to live in lack unless they're comfortable with living in lack. I hated it. I hated, like, the ends of the month, where it's like you open the fridge and it's like nothing in there that you want to eat. Versus now, where I'm grateful. I'm so grateful that I'm able to just go buy, the type of food that I want. We go in the store and my kids, they can just, go get what they want. So I don't think I have a charger. Oh, I guess I do. Ooh, your eyelashes are poking me in the eye. This kind?
Yeah.
Okay. Stop it. My eyelash. Oh no, it's poking me in the eye. Ugh. Something is poking me in the eye. Ugh. Oh no. Well, let me use this. Something is poking me in the eye. This is not right. Okay. But I'm gonna stay on here for like a few more minutes and then I'm gonna go. Like I said before, you guys feel free to ask any questions that you may want to ask. If you don't want to use your real YouTube, go make a fake YouTube. Come back and ask the question. But I'm here to help you ladies. Like, I am a girl's girl. I've always been a girl's girl. I love men. I absolutely adore men. I just have a preference for the honest men, because I prefer someone to tell me the truth so that I can move off of the truth instead of moving off of a lie. But majority men lie and manipulate women so that they can get what they want out of women. Usually it's something for himself. Because some men will marry a woman just so that he can have a free cook and a free housekeeper. And, that's a totally separate service than what is required of a wife. A wife, in my mind, is to be there for him mentally, emotionally, and physically. But as far as being there for him to get free services, that's not what marriage is for, in my mind. It's just not. So ladies, you have to be careful, because some men will want to marry just so that it makes their life run a little smoother, because he thinks that you're going to wash his clothes for free. He thinks that you are just going to be in over that hot stove every night for free, cooking him up a 3-course meal. And I have just learned that that is not, our duty to be doing. That is a service, that he can pay for. If he wants to cook, if he wants his house clean, he can pay someone to do that. That is not something that is a prerequisite of being a wife. And I know, because, I feel like I was going to be tricked. They want to give you a title and say, oh, she's the wifey. Just so you can be washing his dirty drawers. You're cooking his belly some food for free, because it came with the marriage certificate. Oh no, buddy. You will pay someone else to be doing all of them chores. I'm gonna keep my house clean, because I can't sit and work, period, without my surroundings being clean. But a lot of men will learn you and know that about you, and then say, oh, I like the way she keep house, so yeah, I wouldn't mind having her as my wife. But yeah, I went off subject a few times. But ladies, make sure that you get the most that you can get while you are a young tender, while you are a young tenderoni. Because men go absolutely crazy for a young, beautiful, lady. So make him, you have to require him to give you things before you jump in the sack with him. Do not just let him flatter you with, kind words, or saying, yo, you're so beautiful. Oh, you so gorgeous. Oh, you look so good. I just want to. Well, how bad do you just want to? Because you got to show me in your wallet. You know what I mean? You have to show me, how bad you want me. You have to show me. Because you have to be careful too of some men, because some men will want to just use up your time, and time is money. Because if he's not paying, if he's not buying you things, trying to woo you, if he's not taking you to dinner, if he's not getting you tennis bracelets and roses made of money, roses that are made of $20, $50, $100 bills, $500 bills, $1,000 bills, if he's not contributing to your life, if he's not adding to your life, as far as when he does have your time and your attention, you can cut him off, because he's just sucking your time that you could be spending with another man that is willing to give you what you want, tell you yes instead of telling you no. So ladies, you are looking for a yes man. Look for yes men, men that tell you yes. You want to stay away from the men that tell you no, Because if he tells you no often, he doesn't really like you. If he tells you no often, he doesn't really like you, and those are not the men that you want to keep around for long term. You want the men that are easily able to go get the things that you like and that you want and that you need in your life. If he is like trying to suck up a lot of your time and he's not trying to add anything, whether it's financially, mentally, emotionally, you have to spend as less time as possible with him. You want to be using your time, especially your young time, even when you're older. Don't get me wrong, but do not let the men that want to just suck up your time and your energy suck up a lot of your time and your energy to not be adding anything to your life. Get those men out of there. Tell them they need to go buy themselves a pet, a dog, if they need some emotional support. But the time that you are allowing these men that aren't doing anything to add financially, especially financially, to your life, give them the least time. Give them the, oh, I'm busy. Oh, send them a link to buy you things, you know, from wherever you like to shop from. But I suggest, you know, sending them links to, you know, things that you can even, just really utilize or turn into a business for yourself. You want to, just see how bad does he really, want to spend time with you. You tell him, oh, you can show me, by, getting this, gold necklace or these gold or these diamond earrings, that I wanted, or a bracelet, or, oh, there's this tennis bracelet that I, really want to get, and I just gotta have it, and oh, how much is it? So be able to send him the links, to, buy you these things. And then when he buys you the things that you want, then it's like, oh, okay, it's okay now to give him some of your time and, to spend a little time with him. Or he asks, he may ask you to go to dinner, and, it's like, oh, okay, now you can go because, he spent a little money and he's really showing you that he's serious, that he's really trying to get to know you, So that's what I've learned, because if you spend time on these apps, there'll be 1,000 men in your DMs talking about, hey, pretty, hey, beautiful. Don't even respond to those men that say, hey, pretty, hey, beautiful, because he's saying that to 1,000 other women online, So don't even respond to those messages online when they say, hey, pretty, hey, beautiful. Don't even open them. I'll leave them on unseen, because you are not talking about anything, sir. Because the men that are very serious, they're leaving messages and talking about some, something big. How can I cash app you, miss? How can I pay for you? How can I pay for your dinner today? How can I pay for your breakfast today? Because you could just hear it. When a man doesn't have any money, you can hear it. Or if he's trying to get your time for free, you can hear it. If he says, oh, I want to take you out for coffee or for a drink. Excuse me, sir. No. No, 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 no. Oh, we could go walk in the park or on the beach. No. That's telling you right there that he's broke, he's cheap, or he can't afford you. You know, but he wants your time for free. No. No. You know, it's okay to respond to the men that say, I was trying to Zelle you this money so you could, you know, take care of your phone bill for the month or for the year rather, so I can talk to you all year. Something, you know. I was trying to Zelle you your rent for this month. You know, big providers know exactly how to get your attention. You know, because some men they can try to talk big to try to get your attention, but it doesn't mean that they'll follow through. Because some men, you know, they think they know the game, and they'll try it on you, you know, but you don't have to let it work. You know what I mean? If they're not showing and proving to you, you don't have to give them your time. Just because somebody comes and knocks, you don't have to let them in. You do not have to let them in. But yeah, it's been on here 52 minutes. Okay, so no one had questions this time, but I am grateful for the people that did step in the room, and I will see you all on the next video. Hopefully on the next video you guys will have some questions that I can help you with, because I'm a helper. I love to help. Maybe take a pen and paper, write some questions down, so next time you guys, you know, come to the live, whether it's tomorrow or later on in the week, you'll have your questions ready for me to answer, and we will chat then. But I really enjoyed this live, and I really hope that you guys got some extremely helpful information, because like I said, there is no gatekeeping on this channel. There is no gatekeeping. I want, you know, you ladies to return to know that every single time that you click on any of my videos on this channel, you are going to walk away with some extremely helpful knowledge that you didn't know before, or maybe that I refreshed your mind with if you already did know. But I love y'all. Y'all have a safe, wonderful day. Keep getting that money, and make sure y'all return so I can give you a little more diamond dust for your mind.